What's the educational cost of learning to trade? Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading, just down at the park with my dogs and my kids, a couple of my kids in the background kicking the football today, talking about the educational cost of learning to trade. You know, I've received quite a few emails from different people, similar stories, a lot of traders. I went to the ATAA meeting, the Australian Technical Analysts Association meeting on Thursday night, and heard a great presentation by Frank Watkins from Pro Trader. Really great stuff, and again, just reinforcing basic trading, you know, the ancient old techniques of trend lines, support and resistance. But one of the things that I got from talking to different people, similar war stories, you know, you learn as you go. You're constantly learning in this game. It's a continuous feedback loop of learning, and unfortunately sometimes that involves money. And one of the comments that, you know, I think most of us sort of feel it's your tuition. It's tuition in your education. But you know, I talked to a young gentleman the other day who's in university, and I just happened to say to him, you know, I'm just curious, he's doing a bachelor's degree, doesn't matter what he's studying, but I said, what's the average tuition cost now for university? And he said it's about $10,000 a semester. Now, $10,000 a semester. So 4 years, 2 semesters a year, 8 years, 80 grand. And you know, I can still remember writing my very first tuition check at the University of Guelph in Canada, and I think it was around $900. And by the time I left there in 1992, it was about $1,500. So that was my tuition costs. But I worked full time as I studied, and I graduated with zero debt. Now this young gentleman's taken out mostly loans. He's going to have $80,000 in debt. Now that said, when I went to study university in St. Louis and did my professional training there, I racked up probably about $40,000 in debt. My parents helped me out, but the average debt in my class at that time was $85,000 US, and that was in 1996. The tuition when I started was $3,500 US, and when I finished it was about $5,000 US, and there was 10 semesters, so you know, now that's at approximately $10,000 in climbing per semester. It's a trimester system. But my point is that, you know, you can spend thousands of dollars on getting an education and getting a bachelor's degree, and this young gentleman's going to graduate with a bachelor's degree, but no actual professional specific field training. It will enable him potentially to maybe get a job. You know, it'll open doors for him, but at the same time, he's going to have $80,000 in debt, and I'm, you know, don't know what he'll start off with in terms of a salary, but he's not going to walk into a professional salary. He's not an engineer. He's not going to be, you know, a specific field of training in terms of medicine or anything like that. He may continue his studies, but my point is that when you're spending that kind of money, you know, people talk about losing money in the markets and its tuition, but here's what I'm going to say. If you're studying in the markets or you're studying at university, you know, you have exams that you have to cram for, you're going to go out, you're going to get a job, and, you know, one of the things that's going to happen is that you're going to be answering to someone else. They're going to make you stay up late, they're going to make you stay extra hours, you're going to do extra things just to keep your job. Now, what I'm getting at is that if you're going to spend 80 grand to get a degree, which, you know, don't confuse what I'm saying. I'm not, you know, encouraging anybody not to get a tertiary education or, you know, continue their studies. My point is that if you're willing to push yourself to get a degree, or you're willing to go and work for somebody else and be told what to do and put hours in that you may not actually get paid for, you're going to work overtime, maybe you're on a salary, you may have to work long hours for the first few years before you can get a new position or a pay rise, but what are you willing to do to get better at trading? You know, we talk about in the 7-step daily routine. You know, if you haven't done so, go to my homepage, download it. It's an audio file. You can listen to it wherever you go. Create daily habits that are congruent with the goals that you want in your trading and in your life. And my point with that is that unless you set goals and push the boundaries for constant progress, which they're going to make you do at a job for a set wage, why aren't you willing to do that for yourself? Why aren't you willing to do the extra yards every single day, every single week to figure out how to get better at trading? Now, I went to a conference, again, I mentioned on Thursday night, the ATAA, but I also talked to a friend of mine earlier this week, and we talked about a couple of simple things, and there was one little nugget that I got from him and one little nugget that I got on Thursday night that just got me thinking, and I went back and looked at my charts, was looking at some simple things, and I thought, you know what, there's a little subtle twist, again, in my trading plan that just might help me avoid certain trades and also maybe increase my results. So I'm going to test that out. I'm going to try it out. And with that, that's the whole point of constant progress, that you're inching towards improving your trading and hopefully improving everything. And if you're willing to grow and willing to keep pushing the boundaries, the universe by default will help you get there. But the number one golden rule en route to that is don't blow up your trading account. And that's what this point of the video is that don't lose all your money before you learn to trade. So if you learn to trade and then you've blown up your account in the process, well, now you got to go and get a new grub stake. But even one of the great things about Forex is that you can use micro lots. Master the art of trading. Make sure you have a positive expectancy. Monitor your results. Like I talk about using edge wonk, and I'm still, getting my head around that. But the point is that keep trying to get your losses to 1R consistently and your trade profits above 1R, whether 1.5, 2.5, whatever it is. Make sure it's bigger than your losses. Make sure that you're consistent. Make sure that you can get profitable, then bump up in size. And I tell you, since I've been bumping up size, I've taken a few big knocks, but it's been 1R. And I'll tell you what, when you bump up in size, you get really good at taking losses. And that's one thing I'm really good at now, is I have my stop loss as soon as the trade is placed. The stop loss goes in place, and I may adjust it tighter than the original maximum stop loss on that instrument, but it gets easier and easier to take losses because I know the way that I trade. If I'm wrong and it comes against me, I'm really wrong, and I need to get out ASAP. So point is that, what's the educational cost of trading? Well, that's up to you. That's entirely up to you. You can't keep trading and think that the longer you're trading and longer you're there in the game that you're going to just naturally get better. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to put the numbers on the board and make sure that you're showing a positive expectancy. So hopefully you got some value from today's video, traders. If you're willing to go out and be told what to do and work extra hours and study your butt off for a degree or work for someone and don't get me wrong, like your job, your education, all of it's an important part of everything that goes on. It's putting food on the table. It's opening doors for you. But my point is, if you're willing to push yourself and do those things, keep pushing yourself for the goals that you want in your trading. Keep forcing the boundaries for constant progress, but focus on the things that are actually important. Don't just keep trading. Make sure that you're actually seeing progress in your trading. If you're not, scale down size, but figure out what you need to do better. I'm using nothing but price now. Support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it supply and demand because in Forex, it's the banks and they're selling and buying. So stay disciplined, stay focused. If you're willing to spend 80 grand on a bachelor's degree, hopefully you don't blow 80 grand in the market. And I know there's people who've lost a lot more. I know I've spent a bit learning. So, but stay focused on constant progress, keep getting better, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.